Here's a thought.
Thought you had?
A thought while I was doing my business this morning. Um, what if, on the theory on predictive programming, like when the prepper movement started in 2012, everybody, all these movies come out, even as Gen X's, oh, it's going to be nuclear bombs, oh, it's going to be this, whatever, to bring down America. What if all the movies, everything on social media, everything and anything, was different ways to convince people that it'll happen this way, so that's the way there's all this infighting. But then you had leaders back in the day going, the only way America's going to fall is from within and then from without. The whole time everybody's thinking they can believe it, but they don't want to be convinced of it. Meanwhile, more and more things come out, and you start going, wait a sec, more and more sellouts, more and more of this, and the destruction from within. It used to be, oh, that's conspiracy theory. Now it's like, okay, we're batting 1,000. Okay. Now, what if that is the point, and the reason why nothing's really happening to stop any of this crap is because nobody wants to go from a belief to a conviction. Even though you look around, being sold out left and right, one side, Republican or Democrat, you name it, I ain't going to, can get away with stuff, but the other side can't do it. And you kind of go, okay. Every day you see this being taken away, that being taken away, food production being destroyed left and right. I mean, hell, China sent over a spy balloon. Oh, let it just go, la-di-da, la-di-da, la-di-da.
Multiple spy balloons.
There. Now, here's the kicker. China owns a lot of, bonds and stocks and treasury notes. What if they were just going, okay, we're looking over our, our collateral. They own a lot of farmland. You look at all this stuff and you have to wonder, okay, what if, in a way we've all been programmed to think that, this class over here, everybody can see it's going to happen. You look at Revelation, it's going to happen. You look at the Torah, they talk about the same things like Revelations. The fucking Quran, same thing. Hopis, they talk about spiritual man and fucking material man, and they come to a Y in the road. Blue Kachina, a lot of weird stuff. I mean, we've been having, signs and wonders in the heavens. Nobody wants to see it because everybody's chasing that American dollar. The politicians keep screwing you, lying to you, and then they use Mockingbird media. You have to wonder if all of a sudden everybody just said, there's just too much circumstantial evidence in my face. I mean, especially like with the shot. They come out and admit that, yeah, all those conspiracy people were right. But then they spin it. Well, let's just live and forget. And then they come out, oh, we're going to do this. We're going to go constant fear because it works. But what if, through the use of free will, what the Creator does, you got a choice to believe what you see and hear, or you can choose to ignore it. But the thing is, you got a conscience. Now, just imagine if what I'm saying is true. I mean, everybody had a moment where they went to the whole, test of spirit and said, hey, is this really going on? And I'm just too much of a, don't want to, go from a belief to a conviction. And say, what would you do if you woke up, you tested the spirit, and the spirit testified to you and said, yeah, this is true? Your conscience would eat at you like a cancer. And like George Bush said, if the American people knew what we were doing, we'd all be hanging from every lamppost within 24 hours. That's how far this goes back, and then some, and then some, and then some, and then some. New World Order, New World Order. Shit, it's a joke. I mean, if you really want to go back, listen to William Cooper, you know. That guy, that was back in the 90s. And then you fast forward, Mark Cornke, America in Peril. It's like they almost knew what was going on. But Mark, he was intelligence. William Cooper was intelligence. Kind of like they joined the military. For, you know, for one ideology, hey, I'm doing it for the country. And then you realize, whoa. And then people have consciences. And they go, no, no. And get out and go, hey, check this shit out. A lot of people go, yeah, I believe it. And I can see it. But I don't want to be convinced of it. But get back onto it. What if that is the whole thing? We've all been programmed. And we just don't want to admit it. But yet we see it, smell it like the Matrix being controlled. But that damn conscience, that's a bitch. You know, because here's the thing, like with the prepper movement, you know, everybody, 2012. That's one thing I always kicked me about the prepper movement. I always thought that was being an American. You know, or Mormons that, you know, have a year's worth of food. Everything, you know, like circles, and then they have cycles. You have to wonder, have we been programmed? We see it, feel it, can almost damn near taste it, but don't want to be convinced of it. Kind of like being on the tip of your tongue. But then that's the thing, is the conscience comes and gets you. Now, if that is the case, and everybody testified, what would happen? You know, a lot of people, people like to overthink things. I mean, or here's another thought: what if this is really going on, and those in control are hoping to God, and nobody will actually go from a belief to a conviction, laughing all the way, knowing that if people wake up, they could stop it, but then they put the fear of somebody comes along, well, what about the children? What about the elderly? What about this? What about that? And the whole thing is eventually it does happen. Then the elderly, the children, they get screwed too. It don't matter. You know, it's kind of weird. It's like every day it's ramped up. I mean, it ain't fear mongering, it's actually happening. And you have to wonder, just like, you know, a lot of people that wonder why are all the, you know, why can't I find more people, preppers, patriots, call it whatever you want, you know, Americans, believe in freedom. We're all spaced out. What if that's the whole plan all along?
Hold on.
Okay, sorry about that. You know, that was kind of weird. I had to do a perimeter sweep. Been up here for a week. She hasn't never lost her shit. The only time she lost her shit like that is when there was an elk up the road. You know, but doing it, there is nothing. You know, it's just kind of weird. You know, you talk about testing the spirit, blah, blah, blah. You know, that's what I mean. You don't want to admit it, but that was just weird. For it to happen at that moment, I don't know. I'll just chalk it up as, you kind of want to, that's like you see it and you get a weird feeling, but you still don't want to convince yourself that, no, that wasn't it. That's what I'm trying to get across. You know, I know some people probably say, oh, you guys staged that and blah, blah, blah. No, that's what happened. But to get back onto the topic of people going, well, you know, why can't I find others like mine? You know, there's supposed to be so many of us and blah, blah, blah. What if, because nobody wants to believe this shit, that eventually everything goes to shit, all the while everybody believing it but not being convinced of it, so it actually does happen, and all the...
Go.
Okay, sorry about that interruption. Now our phone's acting weird, so let's wrap this up. Okay. So what if that is the case? That's why we're all spaced out. So there is a remnant. We're not going biblical again. Maybe we are, maybe we ain't. I don't know. Maybe that's the whole grand plan. You know, either we get off our butts or we still get our butts spanked, but then we're spread out where we all can't be taken out. And then it starts over again. Little town here, little town there. Oh, damn. Nothing new under the sun. Like the Chinese said, may you live in interesting times. But there's just a few, my little 2 cents of some things I think about. So y'all get out and play, have fun, and hope to God this ain't really what's really happening, being testified. Have a good night.